joining. Or should we start the class? Shreya, please unmute yourself. Shreya Paul, are you here? Okay, we will start. Vijay, please unmute yourself. So a very good afternoon, all of you. My name is Shantanu Singh. Today we are here for the week 2 problem solving assessment for the course of Demystifying the Brain. So it's 2nd February 2025. I am a PhD scholar from IIT BHU, PMRF cycle from cycle 9 with a PMRF ID 1102015. Okay. So before starting, I am giving the course outline that this course name is the Demystifying Brain, having the course code of BT17 and course ID having NOC 225 BT17. The course is of 4 weeks, course duration is of 4 weeks, and the course instructor is Professor C. Nivas Chakravarti, IIT Madras. So I am assigned as the TA for this course for taking online problem solving lectures, and I am from the IIT BHU. This course comes in the category of biological sciences and bioengineering. So this course having the 4 weeks of syllabus, which is divided in 4 different weeks. So in the week 1, we have talked about the history of neuroscience, brain through evolution. In the week 2, that is current week, we will study the neurons and neuron signaling, networks that learn. And in week 3, we will study about the organization of nervous system, maps in the brain. And in week 4, we will study the memories and holograms, emotions in the brain, and theories of consciousness. So the lectures of these weeks are available in the NPTEL website. Please go through it and learn very thoroughly so that you can get better understanding of the brain. Okay. So as every week's pass out, we will have one quiz and assignments. So you need to timely submit those assignments. And if you have any problem in the questions, you can directly ask to me, or either you can mail to me. So you can refer these books for this subject, that is the Phantoms in the Brain, written by V.S. Ramachandran. And of course, this book, which was written by V.S. Chakravarti, Professor V.S. Chakravarti, Demystifying the Brain. It is freely accessible on the NPTEL. You can directly download the PDF of this ebook and go through it. It's a very interesting book. I personally recommend this book to you, that you please go through it and study very thoroughly. So in today's session, we will study the basic terms of neuron signaling, and then we will go through the Q&A session, that is question and answer session, doubt clearing and interaction session. So this lecture is of 2 hours, that is 3 to 5 p.m. So from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. we will study the basic terms of neuronal signaling, and then from 4:30 to 5 p.m. we will have some discussion and clearing your doubts with question answers. Okay. So this is the live interactive session, which is started from the 26th January, and the details of that lectures and also the PPT is uploaded on the NPTEL website. You can, if you by chance if you miss those lectures, you can directly go through it and get your revision done. The end date of this lecture is 16 February because 4 weeks will be completed, and every week timing is from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. You can directly join by this link having provided, or you can go through your email which have provided by the NPTEL. In the meantime, if you got any queries, you can directly mail your queries to this my email, that is andhanusingh.rs.bc21@iitbhu.ac.in. Okay, are you guys listening to me? Can you just say yes or type yes? Shreya, Vijay? Okay, I'm moving to next. So in today's lecture, we will study about the action potential. Because in last class we have discussed the basic of the brain functioning and basic biology of the brain. So basic biology of neurons. So today we will study about the action potential. In the last class we have studied the different parts of the neurons and its functions, how nerve signaling will transfer from one neuron to another neuron. So in today's lecture, by continuing it, we will study about how action potential generates. Okay. So what is action potential? Can anyone just suggest me what is action potential? Do you guys know what is action potential? Okay, no worries. Action potential is a sudden rise and fall in the membrane voltage or potential of a neuron in response to a stimulus. Okay, what does it mean? So it means that an action potential is a sudden rise and fall. Means that if you have a voltage and you can connect a light bulb through that voltage, you will get some light. Okay, there is some change in the action potential. There is change of some potential between the starting of the wire and the end of the bulb. Okay, so that change in the action potential will result in the lightening of the bulb. Okay, similarly in neurons there is an action potential is a sudden rise and fall in the membrane voltage and potential of a neuron in response to the stimulus. What likely is to happen that the dendrites and nerve ending is joined from one neuron to another neuron will transfer the nerve signaling, and that nerve signaling causes the rise of membrane voltage, and then membrane voltage will result in the action potential. Okay, so it is a temporary shift in the neuron's resting membrane potential when it sends information down the axon away from the cell body. What does it mean? It's a temporary shift. It means that the signal which is coming from the response of stimuli is a temporary. It means that if I am touching my hands, it gives the signal to my mind. But when I remove it and touch it, the signal stops and started. So it's a temporary phenomena, not the permanent. Okay, so it's a temporary shift in the neuron resting membrane potential when it sends information down the axon away from the cell body. Only neurons, muscles, and some endocrine cells can generate an action potential, a property called excitability. Okay, so first of all, you guys tell me what is stimulus. Can anyone guess what is stimulus? If you are unable to speak, you can write through message in the chat box. And if you are able to speak, you can just unmute yourself and say the answer. What is stimulus? Can anyone know? Shreya, Vijay, anyone? Vijay, you can tell me what is stimulus? Okay, no problem. Stimulus is the any response or any external signal which initiates the membrane potential or starts the response through body. Okay, stimulus can be anything. Stimulus can be come from external or internal. Internal stimuli are generally hormones and other things, and external stimuli are just trauma and touching things, doing exercise. Okay, so you have to be conscious during your classes so that you can learn more. Okay, so you can get more information about the stimulus in that book, and you can also go through the Google and search what is stimulus. Okay, so we are talking about the excitability. Just one example. When we smell the odor of deodorant, the olfactory neurons in the nose fire action potential. What does it mean? When you smell the odor of the deodorant, the olfactory neurons present in the nose. In the nose we have olfactory neurons. Just like neurons are present in all over the body, so for the signaling, so in the nose it is called olfactory neurons. Okay, so when we smell the odor of deodorant, these neurons get stimulated and fire some action potential to the brain that yes, it's kind of different odor. Okay, in the nose. So when we are talking about the membrane voltage, what does it mean? Okay, so membrane, you can see in the right side, I had mentioned one graph of the action potential. This graph shows the several events of action potential. How does this work? Okay, so there are some basic terms of action potential. We can start from the RMP. What is RMP? RMP is the resting membrane potential. Then resting membrane potential is okay. I will describe one by one later. Just first, let's see the basic terms. RMP means resting membrane potential, then threshold potential, and then depolarization. After depolarization, repolarization occurs, and then hyperpolarization. And the event will continue in the cycles. Just like after depolarization, it will go through the resting membrane potential. Okay, so when there is no stimuli, your neurons or your nerves is on the resting membrane potential. The resting membrane potential is minus 19 millivolt. Okay, minus 90 millivolt. So when a stimuli comes and gives some stimuli comes and give some signal to your nerves, it will start some threshold. Okay, that threshold reaches in the positive way from minus 95 to minus 65. That is called as threshold level. Okay, so local potential change and graded potential. Graded, what does it mean by graded potential? Graded potential means that increase in the potential. Okay, then depolarization occurs. What does it mean, depolarization? So depolarization occurs due to the opening of voltage-gated sodium channels. What is sodium channel? Do you guys know about the channels? There are several type of channels present in our cell. That may be neuron cell, nerve cell, other cells. All kind of cells contain some receptors and some channels that are H plus channels, sodium potassium channel, potassium channels, calcium channels. So these channels are responsible for the transport of ions from inside to outside the cell and vice versa. Means outside the cell to inside and inside to outside. Okay. So why it is important to transport the ions from cell or from the tissue? So each and every organ having their own functions. Okay, and to maintain the ion concentration, voltage membrane voltage, and different kinds of functions will need the different concentration of some ions. So to maintain those ions, these ion channels will work. Okay, suppose that if you need potassium ion in your cell, which channel will open? Potassium channel. And if you need sodium in your cell, inside the cell, to increase the polarization, what will happen? Potassium will go inside. So opening of potassium channel, opening of sodium channel will occur. Okay, so in that way depolarization occurs. Depolarization means opening of voltage gated sodium channels. These channels are present in the outer membrane of the neurons. Okay. So when sodium channels open, what will happen? Sodium will go inside the neurons and it will start from depolarizing. You can see the resting membrane potential is minus 90 millivolt and it reaches to threshold level minus 65 millivolt. When sodium channel opens, the positive ions get entered into the cell and these will start the depolarization. Depolarization means from minus 65 volt to plus 35, okay? Because the positive ions will move inside the cell and it will increase the membrane potential, okay? So after depolarization, the change of membrane voltage is between minus 65 millivolt to plus 35 millivolt, okay? Then repolarization occurs. What does it mean, repolarization? Repolarization means the reverse of depolarization, okay? So there minus 35 plus 35 millivolt is the threshold level, okay? So sorry, the action level, threshold level is the minus 65 millivolt. So at that plus 35 millivolt, the action occurs. Means that the signal is transferred and then cell have to reach back to the resting membrane potential. Then what will happen? The repolarization will occur. In the repolarization, closure of the sodium and opening of the potassium channel, voltage gated channels will open. Okay. Then there will be change in the membrane potential of plus 35 to minus 95. That is called, let me enter some students. They are requesting for admit. Okay. So please come on time. I request all of you that please join on time. There will be attendance every time. So I request all of you that please come on time, okay? So the kind of thing that the reverse of depolarization is called repolarization, and in repolarization, the closure of sodium and opening of potassium voltage gated channels will occur. And this result to the decrease in the membrane potential from plus 35 to minus 90 volts. That is the resting membrane volts. Okay, resting membrane potential. And then what will happen? Hyperpolarization will occur. The voltage gated potassium channels will remain open after the potential reaches to the resting level. Okay, so what will happen? That repolarization occurs and it will responsible for the plus 35 millivolt to minus 90 volt. That is from the resting membrane potential. But the voltage gated potassium channel is open and it will cause the hyperpolarization, and that hyperpolarization will result in the more negative membrane potential, okay, from minus 90 to minus 95, okay. So this kind of graph will form when you measure the membrane potential voltage. So it is called as action potential graph. This graph is called as action potential graph, and you can check the time in milliseconds. 0 to 3 milliseconds is the time for whole action, that is from resting membrane potential to threshold potential to depolarization to repolarization, and repolarization to hyperpolarization. You can see how fast signal transfer from one neuron to another neuron. That is 1 to 4 milliseconds, okay? Then we will study about the neuronal action potential. What is neuronal action potential? Does anyone know what we are talking about here? We are talking about the repolarization and depolarization. So how this works? You know, it's a structure of neuron. I already told in the last class that what are the structure of neurons. If you not study, please go that link and get the presentation downloaded and revise it by yourself. Okay. So today we are studying the action potential, where the action potential works, how it works. Okay. Let's see. So it's the cell body of the neurons having some dendrites, and here is called the axon hillock. And this part is called, what is this part? Anyone can guess? What is this part? It's called the axons. In the axon, there is a Schwann cells and node of Ranvier. In the node of Ranvier, repolarization occurs, means opening of potassium channels, voltage-gated potassium channels, and in the depolarization you can see sodium channels will open and it will increase the sodium in the cell. Okay, so you can see here positive ions will transfer from outside to inside the neuron and it will increase the potential. You can see here the stimulus is resting membrane potential is minus 70 millivolt, and when the stimulus comes it goes to the minus 55 millivolt threshold potential, and in the threshold potential it will increase from negative to positive plus minus plus 35 millivolt, and then there is the repolarization and then hyperpolarization. You can see the number of events. 7 events are occurring. Okay, so in the exams you can be asked that what is the threshold potential or what is the difference between the depolarization and repolarization. So you have to clearly mention that in the depolarization opening of sodium channels will occur, and in the repolarization opening of closing of sodium channels and opening of potassium channels will occur. Okay, so maybe you may also ask that what causes the hyperpolarization. Hyperpolarization is caused by the opening of potassium channels. Potassium is K plus channels. Okay, so this is the workflow of the neuron action potential. If I assume that you guys have understand. If not, please can you just type in the message if you have any doubt. If you guys have any doubt, please ask. Should I revise it? Are you guys getting? In today's lecture, we have studied about the action potential and neuronal action potential. Okay, we know how cell repolarization occurs, how depolarization occurs, and what is the resting membrane potential, what is hyperpolarization. Okay, should I move to next, or you guys have any doubt? Do you guys have any doubt? Please tell me, or you can type your message. Should I proceed? Okay, I will proceed. So what action potential triggers the release of neurotransmitters? What is the use of that action potential? Can anyone tell me what is the use of action potential? In the left side you can see there is a nerve cells 1 and 2. It is joined by the synapse. So in that synapse you can see when action potential comes from one neuron to another neuron, there will be the release of some neurotransmitters, and then neurotransmitters will be responsible for the release of signals. Okay, are you getting? So just suppose that it's a nerve 1 and it's nerve 2. It's a synapse. Okay, in the synapse there will be some vesicles which releases the neurotransmitters. So action potential arrives, triggers the entry of calcium ions. Okay, when the one neuron having the action potential, it will initiate the entry of calcium in the cells. So what does the calcium do? In response to the calcium, synaptic vesicles fuse, okay, with the presynaptic membrane and then release the neurotransmitter. These calcium ions will fuse the neurotransmitters and release these. Wait a minute, I having the call. Yeah, okay. Sorry to disturb. Sorry for the disturbance. So the action potential arrives and triggers the entry of calcium in the cell, in the nerve cell. Okay. There will be one graph of action potential that are the resting membrane potential to threshold potential to depolarization to repolarization, and then hyperpolarization. Okay, so after the hyperpolarization, entry of calcium ions will occurs in the nerve. Okay, and these calcium ions will cause the fuse of these vesicles, and these vesicles contains the neurotransmitters which releases from one cell to another cell in the synapse. Okay, in the synapse you can see there are several receptors which captures those neurotransmitters and spread the signal from one neuron to another neuron. Okay, the ion channels open when the neurotransmitter binds, and ion flow causes the change in the postsynaptic cell potential. Okay, what causes the entry of ions? So ions will start the entry from outside to inside the cell. Are you getting? Okay. Okay. So you can see here very clearly that propagated action potential will transfer the entry of sodium ions. Sodium ions causes depolarization. Depolarization causes the entry of calcium ions in the cells, and these calcium ions will rupture the fuse the vesicles, and these vesicles contains neurotransmitter. Here in this case, there is a GABA neurotransmitter, gamma aminobutyric acid. Okay, it captured by the GABA receptors, and these GABA receptors causes the entry of calcium ion to another cells, chloride ion to another cells. Okay. In the second case, you can see vesicles contains the glutamate. Glutamate is also type of neurotransmitter, which is received by the AMPA receptor. Okay, that AMPA receptor causes the entry of sodium ion in the cells. When the chloride ions entry will start, it causes the inhibitory synapse. It called as inhibitory synapse or inhibitory signals. When there is the entry of sodium ions, it is called the excitatory synapse. Okay, or excitatory signaling. So there are some drugs which inhibits those signals and stops the response. That is, suppose that if you want to stop this voltage gated sodium channel, so these drugs, phenytoin, carbamazine, oxycarbamazine, esclarabine acetate, lamotrigine, latosine, and jonosine, this inhibits, this is the signal of inhibition, red color. So these all drugs will responsible for inhibiting the voltage gated sodium channel. If the voltage gated sodium channel will stop, the signal will not transfer from one neuron to another neuron. Okay, because there will be no entry of sodium ions, there will be no depolarization occur, and vesicle will stay remains. There is no fusing of vesicles. Okay, so here levetiracetam and brevicitam causes the initiates the vesicle fuse. So what will happen? These two drugs will initiate the vesicle fusion, and vesicle fusion result in the release of neurotransmitters. So it is the kind of excitatory signals. Okay, so these two drugs promotes the signaling, and this phenytoin and carbamazine stops the signaling. Okay, like that you can also see reticabine inhibits the reticabine promotes the sodium entry of sodium in the cells, and gabapentin, pregabalin also causes the calcium ion entry, inhibits the calcium ion entry in the neuron signaling. So if you want to stop the calcium channel, you can directly use the pregabalin. That will not let the fuse of vesicles, and neurotransmitters will not release. Okay, you can also inhibit the GAT1 pathway. So these all events are occurring in the synapse. What is synapse? Synapse is nothing but the location between one end of one neuron and starting of another neuron for the signal transport. It is called the synapse. Okay, so in the nerve end there will be some vesicles which release the neurotransmitters, and the starting of neuron will contain some receptors which will let the entry and bind to the neurotransmitters, and the release and entry and exit of ions will occur. Okay, so what is neurotransmitters? Can anyone guess me what is neurotransmitter? Can anyone guess what is neurotransmitter? Neurotransmitter is nothing but a tiny molecule that carries a message across the synapse. What does it mean? What is a tiny molecule? Okay, so these glutamate, GABA, these are the tiny molecules. So release from the axon of one neuron into dendrite of another neuron. Okay, so you can see these two are the neurons. One is the neuron end and another is the neuron starting. Nerve ending is called axon and nerve starting is called as dendrite. So you can see the vesicles here. Neurotransmitters stored in vesicles. These vesicles are released neurotransmitter with the entry of calcium channels. Okay, So the red one are the neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitter is nothing but a message or a signal which is transferred from one neuron to another neuron. Okay, there are several types of neurotransmitters. You will be very interesting to know that the excitatory response and inhibitory response are controlled by those neurotransmitters. Okay, if you will happy, the neurotransmitter will change. If you are sad, the neurotransmitter will change. So the activity of neurotransmitter will reflect your behavior, that what kind of behavior you will show. Okay, so what kind of neurotransmitters? Adrenaline, GABA, noradrenaline, acetylcholine, dopamine, serotonin, glutamate, endorphins. Okay, so what this neurotransmitter mean? Let's first study about the adrenaline. Adrenaline is the fight and flight hormone, also called as fight and flight hormone. Why? You have seen in many movies, in the online games, that the character uses adrenaline, okay, to boost his energy. Okay, so in the emergency case, the adrenal hormone is responsible for the boosting energy, or it increases the heart rate. What does it mean? If I increase your heart rate, what will happen? Just can you anyone tell me? What will happen when heart rate increases? Anyone suggest what will happen when heart rate is increased? If your heart rate will increase, the blood flow in the body will increases, and that will cause, yes, blood flow will be high. So blood flow will be high, and increase in the blood flow will causes the transmission of glucose, ions, nutrients, and that nutrients will boost your energy, give the more nutrients to the cell, and cell utilize those for the production of ATP. So adrenaline is also called as fight and flight hormone. Okay, so in the case of emergency, adrenaline is used, or adrenaline is released in our body. Okay, it's a neurotransmitter that is responsible for the what? Boosting energy or physical boost. And just opposite, like GABA, gamma aminobutyric acid. What it causes? It's a calming hormone, just like adrenaline. Adrenaline is the emergency or physical boost hormone. GABA is calming hormone. You know, it relaxes your body. It calms the firing nerves in the CNS, and high levels improve the focus. Low levels causes anxiety and also contributes to the motor control and vision. Okay. So what causes GABA? GABA relaxes your neurons. Okay. Adrenaline increase the neuron signaling, but GABA reduces the nerves. Okay. It relaxes your body, and high level will increase your focus. Suppose that if you want to focus, you need to relax your body. For study, you will see you need the focus. So GABA will be more released, but very low levels will causes the anxiety. You have seen many people that this person is studying from last 6 hours and gone to an anxiety. So the GABA level in their brain is increased, or their neuron is increased. GABA more released due to meditation. Yes, of course, the GABA is more released due to the meditation, but you know, a certain level of neurotransmitter is required. Okay, we don't need more GABA, because more GABA will cause the anxiety. So there is a certain level of all neurotransmitters in the balance. Okay, so to make the balance of the body, we need all hormones in optimized concentration. Okay, so no need to take any of the neurotransmitters from outside. You can see there is a certain drug smugglers that will sell adrenaline, and the people used to take the adrenaline and boost their physical, okay, to boost their physical fitness. Okay, so there is no need to, in the gym boy that takes the steroids. Okay, so steroids also causes the increase of neurotransmitters, but for the natural body we don't need it, because we need all kinds of neurotransmitters in optimum balance. Okay, so both kind of neurotransmitters are required for the body. So next we will study about the noradrenaline. Or noradrenaline, what it causes? It also gives the concentration. It affects the attention and responding actions in the brain. Contracts the blood vessels, increasing blood flow. Okay, so you can see blood vessel. Suppose that blood vessel is a water pipe. Okay, if you reduce the diameter, what will happen? Suppose that a blood is a water pipe, and if you had reduced the diameter of that pipe, what will happen? The flow will increase, the water flow will increase. Okay, and just like noradrenaline causes the contraction of the blood vessels, and those blood vessels will increase the blood flow, because the diameter has been reduced, the flow will increase. Okay, if you will increase the diameter, blood flow will decrease. Okay, so noradrenaline contracts the blood vessel. Okay, noradrenaline contracts the blood vessels and it increases the blood flow. Okay, are you getting my point? So you will interesting to see that all of the neurotransmitter related to the blood, they all are increasing or decreasing the blood flow. Because why? Because blood contains several type of nutrients, glucose, oxygen, and ions. So that all ions of oxygen and all kind of nutrients are responsible for the working of cell, or increasing the ATP, or boosting the physical fitness. So that neurotransmitter will increase or decrease the blood flow. Next we will study about the acetylcholine. So what is acetylcholine? Acetylcholine involved in thought, learning, and memory. It activates the muscle action in the body and also associated with attention and awakening. You have seen many people that yes, I am studying this subject but not getting focused. So in that student, the acetylcholine will be very low. The level of acetylcholine level will be very low. So for studying, learning, and memory activity, acetylcholine is very important. It involved in the activates the muscle action, attention, and awakening. Okay, so you have seen many person that they will say that I don't need alarm. I will wake up at 5 a.m. every day. So that acetylcholine will fire on their brain on 5 a.m. and they will awake. Okay, their homeostasis of the neurons is very perfect, and the acetylcholine will working their action. So next we will study about the dopamine. Dopamine also causes the pleasure hormone, pleasure neurotransmitter. So feeling of pleasure, also addiction, movement, and motivation. Okay, people repeat the behaviors that lead to the dopamine release. So you have seen many people that I am feeling very exhausted. So their dopamine level in the brain is very low. Can it be stimulated with extra activities, acetylcholine? Acetylcholine, yes, of course, you can increase the acetylcholine level. If you will, there are some exercises, brain exercises. If you will perform that, they will increase the acetylcholine level. Okay, of course, the level of all neurotransmitter is based on your nutrients, what kind of food you eat. If you eat the junk food, there will be imbalance of neurotransmitters, and if you will eat the healthy foods which contains many kinds of nutrients and many kinds of vitamins, your level of maintained and your activity will be maintained. But by in case if you want to increase your acetylcholine level, yes, of course you can increase it by by optimizing your food and doing exercise, and also you can increase by doing practices. You can search in Google. There are some also brain practice games are present. You can play those games, or you can try to focus. You can play chess, and that all will enhance your learning and memory. Okay, so yes, we are talking about the dopamine. Thank you. Okay, feeling of pleasure also addiction. Okay, so we are talking about the dopamine. What causes the dopamine? Dopamine generally responsible for the feeling pleasure or feeling good for people. If you are saying that yes, you invite, suppose that if your friend invited in your party and you gone, the food is very good, you are feeling so good, so you will say your friend that yes, I am feeling very pleasure that you invite me on this place, the design is very good and the food is also good. So in that at that time your dopamine level is very high. If your dopamine level is very high, you will feel very pleasured. Okay, that yes, uh, I am uh, uh, I am sufficient, or I am just what kind of thing, yes, I am motivated, or yes, I this was very good level. Okay, you can see the several drugs of dopamine also present in the market. You should do not take any type of excitatory or inhibitory neurotransmitters from the market, because what will happen that if you will take the dopamine from the outside, it will increase the dopamine level in your blood for very short duration of time. Suppose that for a 5 minute, 10 minute, or half hours. But your natural level of natural homeostasis of neurotransmitter will get disturbed. Okay, so I recommend that please do not use any type of steroids, any type of drugs, or any type of excitatory or inhibitory neurotransmitters from the outside market. You just get exercise daily, get meditation, improve your focus and learning, improve your food, and your all the neurotransmitter level will be balanced. Okay, no need to take it from outside. Okay, so next neurotransmitter is glutamate. Glutamate is also called as memory hormones, memory neurotransmitters. Okay, so in glutamate, what causes it? It involved in the learning and memory, regulates the development and creation of nerve contacts. Okay, uh, in the old old times, people used to say that uh, his brain works very good. He is a good learner. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that his glutamate levels are very good, and he able to understand the concepts very good. Okay, why? Because if your glutamate level is good, your level of memory and it regulates the development and increase of nerve contacts. So what causes the nerve contacts? If your brain having the more contacts of nerve, that will increase the more transport of oxygen to all cells, more transport of glucose to all nerve signals, and your nerves will perform very good. Okay, so glutamate causes the increase in the nerve contacts. It increase your learning, it increase your memory. Okay, so next is the serotonin. Serotonin is also called as mood hormone. Okay, so suppose that if you guys are playing together and your friend told that, yeah, I'm not feeling good, I do not have a good mood. So in that case his serotonin level is bad. Okay, and if you are feeling happy and good, your serotonin is good. Okay, so serotonin contributes to the well-being and happiness. It helps in the sleep cycle, your digestive system, and it is affected by exercise and light exposure. In uh, suppose that if you go to doctor, the physician will say that yes, taking nutrition is good for the body, but you also take the sunlight. Why? Why he told you that taking sunlight is important? Taking sunlight is very important for the vitamin D synthesis. Vitamin D precursor is present in our skin, and when the sunlight arrives in the skin, it converts to the vitamin D. Calciferol, cholecalciferols. Okay, vitamin D, D3. So that all vitamins will level of all vitamins will increase, and that all vitamins will cause the transport from blood, and then your serotonin will form and serotonin will release in the body. Those serotonin can be increased by eating banana. If you have low serotonin level, or if you are feeling very low, you can eat banana. Banana will naturally increase your serotonin for a few minutes, but for the long time, you can do the exercise. The morning sunlight is very good for the increasing serotonin level. If you are ill, or if you're having some disease, I request you to please go to the uh, takes morning sunlight, okay, at 8 a.m., 8:30, 9 a.m., okay, not more than that. Because afternoon and evening, UV sunlight comes and it will damage your skin. But in the morning time, you can take the sunlight that will increase your level of vitamin D and D3 and also serotonin. Okay. Is this the reason why tennis player eat banana during the match? Yes, yes, it is a reason that tennis player will need. Banana will contain more energy. Okay, so it will increase the energy level. Because for a tennis player, it is very important to take good energy. Okay, and also the serotonin level will increase. So if your serotonin level is increased, it will increase your confidence. Okay, you will get more confidence that yes, I am getting more confidence in my studies, I am getting more confident in my job, I am getting more confident in playing cricket. So eating banana will increase your serotonin level. Okay, but for long time, I request you to please do exercise. It does not cause harm. Okay, any fruit or any organic source can be used to improve the balance of neurotransmitters. Okay, but any kind of drugs and steroids can be avoided. No, it does not instantly increase, but but it will increase. Okay, after some time. That will depend on its absorption and viability. So eudorphins or euphoria. These endorphins or euphoria, it's a kind of neurotransmitter when released during the exercise. When you do the exercise, this hormone endorphins will release. It will cause the excitement and during sex, producing well-being, and euphoria, reducing the pain. Okay, so endorphins is very important hormone. When our body feels pain, the people used to eat painkillers, but you can see our body having natural painkiller, that is endorphins. Endorphins reduces your pain. Okay, so but at certain level. So endorphins will release during the exercise. If you know, I don't know you guys go to gym or not. When the people goes to gym, they used to take high weightlifting. Okay, so high weightlifting causes the damage of the uh, muscles, and that muscles will definitely get corrected in 1 or 2 days. But in one day, they will have more pain in their legs and their hands. So the level of endorphin levels will increase in their body. Okay, they are more tolerated to the pain. Okay, so I'm moving next. So okay, thank you. So next we'll move to the excitatory neurotransmitters and inhibitory neurotransmitters. So these neurotransmitters is divided into two phases. One is the excitatory neurotransmitters and another is the inhibitory neurotransmitters. So excitatory neurotransmitters are acetylcholine. Excitatory neurotransmitters are acetylcholine, glutamate, epinephrine, serotonin. Whereas inhibitory neurotransmitters are endorphins, dopamine, and GABA. You can see acetylcholine activates the muscles. Glutamate causes the learning and memory. Epinephrine, also called as adrenaline, keeps you alert and mentally focused. And serotonin causes sleepiness and mood. So you need to balance every neurotransmitter in a certain concentration. You don't need to increase one neurotransmitter. Suppose that if you are a student, you'll think, no, I need glutamate, maybe more concentration. This is not the fact. Okay, because the number of receptors are increased, and if you increase the glutamate level, the imbalance of other neurotransmitters will occur. That will affect your brain, and that will causes neurodegeneration. But Yes, a good level of glutamate will cause the good learning and memory practices. Okay, so there will be very important of excitatory neurotransmitters. So we will study about the inhibitory neurotransmitters. Excitatory neurotransmitters will excite the neurons and give you action, whereas inhibitory neurotransmitters, let me admit some students. I request all of you to please come on time. It's already 4 o'clock. The class session will start from the 3. Okay. So there will be attendance every time in every lecture. I request you please come on time. So we are talking about the inhibitory neurotransmitters. Inhibitory neurotransmitters are endorphins, dopamine, and GABA. Endorphins reduces the pain and increases the pleasure. Dopamine causes the motivation and pleasure, known for addiction. Okay, yes, also of course good. It causes the addiction. You know, if people will take the steroid, they were addicted to those steroids. Why? Because those steroids or drugs will cause the addiction to the neurotransmitters. Okay, so you have seen the people that using drugs, alcohol, they got addicted. Even also nicotine, also in the tobacco also. So that all junks that are smoke, alcohol, drinks, drugs, steroids, that all causes the addiction, and that addiction may be due to the neurotransmitters. If you are increasing your neurotransmitter level with the alcohol, drugs, definitely you will got addicted. So I request you, please do not use that. So GABA, gamma aminobutyric acid. GABA is also called as gamma aminobutyric acid. It calms the brain and controls your anxiety. Okay. So we will start the problem solving session. If you have any doubt, you can ask in those concepts. If you need any kind of revision, I will explain it again. If you need any kind of help or doubts, please ask in the message box. Okay. Do you have any doubts in these slides which I told you? Do you have any doubts? Please ask. Okay. We will take a break of 5 minutes. Yes, these recordings are available in the NPTEL website. You can go through it and learn. But I request you to please attend the live sessions. Live session will increase your concepts very clear. And if you have any doubts, you can you can ask to me directly. So there will be 5 minutes of break. If you need, you can also go and drink water. Hello everyone, I hope all of you are there. So we will do a quick revision. We will do a quick revision of these topics, and then we will start the question answers of the previous year questions that is asked on the assignment. Okay, so we will practice those questions, and then I will give some times for your questions and doubts. If you got by chance you got any doubt, you can ask me, and your doubts can also be resolved on the mail. If you have any questions, you can directly email to me. I will reply with the answer. Okay. So today we have studied about the action potential. What is action potential? Action potential means just increase is a sudden rise and fall of the membrane voltage or the potential of the neuron with respect to the stimulus. Okay, if any stimulus is affecting or giving signals, your membrane will start sudden rise and fall in the voltage membrane. So action potential contains several events. That is, it will present in the resting membrane potential RMP, and then threshold potential occurs, and then depolarization, then after repolarization and hyperpolarization. These all events are attained by increasing or closing of several voltage gated channels. These voltage gated channels will increase the entry or stop the exit of ions. Thus, these ions will be responsible for increasing the positive and negative concentrations, and thus depolarization and repolarization occurs. Okay. For example, when we smell the odor of the deodorant, the olfactory neurons in the nose fire some action potentials. So this is the action potential in the graph. So mechanically, how does this happen, and where does it happen? In the axon hillock, you can see various type of voltage gated channels are present. Here, in this case, repolarization potassium channels are present. 1 minute. Sorry for the inconvenience. So we are studying that these action potentials is very important for the response of the nerves. Okay, we got studied about the repolarization, depolarization. Depolarization occurs by the entry of sodium ions in the cell, and repolarization occurs by the exit of potassium channels. You will see that sodium is the positive charge, and when it get entry in the cell, the millivolt potential will change from minus to plus. Okay, because plus ions. Minus 72 plus depolarization occurs from minus 55 to plus 30. Okay, because potassium ions entry got in the cell, and in the repolarization, sodium ions entry in the cell in the depolarization, and in repolarization in exit of potassium channels. You can see potassium is also a positive charge. It will get out from the cells, and what will happen? Plus 30 millivolt to minus 70 millivolt or minus 90 millivolt. So this kind of events having occurred in the nerve, and then the neuron signaling will occur. Okay, I already told you in the last class that what is cell body, what is dendrite, what is axon hillock, what is Schwann cells, what is node of Ranvier, what is function of these all structures, and why it is important for the cell. Okay, so in today's class we studied about the action potential, and then action potential, what causes the action potential? Action potential triggers the release of neurotransmitters. Suppose that I got some action potential. Yes, so what will happen? There will be some release of neurotransmitters occurs. Neurotransmitters, there are several kinds of neurotransmitters present in our body, or in the brain, or in the nerve cell, in the vesicle form. These vesicles are ruptured by the calcium, entry of calcium. Okay, So when you got the action potential, there will be entry of calcium channel in the nerves, and that nerves, the calcium will fuse with those vesicles, and the release of neurotransmitters will occur. Those neurotransmitters will bind to other receptors of the cells, and then in the synapse, and then your response will occur. Okay. So here is the detailed information. It's a kind of synapse. Okay, you can see this is the nerve ending of one cell and nerve starting of another cell. It's a kind of synapse and having the events. Suppose that the action potential travel got depolarization, and here the entry of calcium channels, calcium entry, and then the release of neurotransmitters that will bind to another receptors. The neurotransmitter may be gamma, glutamate. We will study more. And then we have several drugs which inhibit those channels. Okay, phenytoin, carbamazine, oxycarbamazine, that all will inhibit the channels. Okay, so you will get two types of response, that is inhibitory response or either excitatory response. That response is basically based on the type of neurotransmitter get released from your nerve cell. If your nerve cell releases the excitatory neurotransmitter, the response will be excitatory. And if your neurotransmitter releases inhibitory neurotransmitter, your response will be inhibitory. Okay. So what is neurotransmitters? The neurotransmitter is a molecule that carries a message. Okay, message to a synapse, released from the axon to dendrite to another neuron. Okay. Neurotransmitter are the small or tiny molecule that carries a message. Okay. So there are various kinds of neurotransmitter present in our body: adrenaline, GABA, noradrenaline, acetylcholine, dopamine, glutamate, memory, serotonin, euphorin. Okay, we talked the detail about these all neurotransmitters. So so it is divided into two parts: excitatory neurotransmitter and inhibitory neurotransmitters. Excitatory neurotransmitters are acetylcholine, glutamate, epinephrine, serotonin. Inhibitory neurotransmitters are endorphins, dopamine, and gamma aminobutyric acid. Okay, so if you need the structure of that neurotransmitter, you need more information about neurotransmitters, you can go to that books, or you can refer to the articles present in the journals, or you can go through the literature. Okay, because self-study will increase your more concepts. Okay, if you need more basic concepts, you will go to the books. Okay, and if you got any doubt, you can just let me know in the class, or either you can mail your queries. Okay, sir, I did not understand these questions, or I do not having the clear concept in this subject. So I will prepare and let you know. Okay. By chance, if you got questions right now, you can ask me directly. Unmute yourself and ask the questions. I will try my best to answer you. Okay. It's a kind of live session interaction. This is only the purpose of this interaction is to clear your concepts of learning. Okay, and better understanding of the terms. Okay. So do not hesitate to unmute yourself and ask your questions clearly. Okay. So we will move the problem solving session. This is the question asked in the last year assignments. I clearly say that the questions of the assignments will not repeat. Okay, the questions of the assignment will not repeat, but the concept will remain the same. Suppose that this question is asked in the last year. The concept will be same in this year also, but the type of question will be changed. Suppose that if this question is happened in last year, in this year also there will be one question on action potential. Okay, but not this. They will change the question, but concept will be still remain same. Okay. So I request all of you to clear your concepts. Do not focus on the questions. Yes, but clear your concepts on each terms. Okay. If your concept is clear, you will able to solve the questions. So this is the last year question: that neuron exhibit all or none response is called EPSP, IPSP, action potential, or none of them. Can anyone tell me? Neuron exhibit all or none response is called. What does mean? And what is the correct answer of that question? This is asked on the last year assignment. Your seniors got these assignments. So can anyone know the answer? If you know, please answer this question. What is the neuron exhibit all or none response is called? What is called? If you guys know the answer, please type your message in comment box. Either unmute yourself and say. If you guys don't know, don't worry. I will let you know right now. So the correct answer is action potential. Okay. Neuron exhibit all or none response is called EPSP, IPSP, and action potential. The correct answer is action potential. You know why? The action potential is always a full response. Okay. The action potential is always a full response. Why there is no such thing that neuron exhibit all or none response is called? The action potential is always a full response. There is no such thing that is strong or weak action potential. Instead, it is an all or nothing process. This minimizes for the possibility that information will be lost along the way. Sorry. You can see here the graph. In the x-axis, we have a time, and y-axis, they are having the response. With the time, see, there is no response, and the time, they are having the full response, red bars. You know, there is some signal strength or stimulus strength. If you increase the stimulus strength, there will be a threshold. If you see that this graph, there is a threshold, okay, threshold level -65 millivolt. If your signals receive that kind of signal which increases the threshold to -65, then the action potential will occur. If your stimulus is not able to get the threshold level, your signal will not occur. So in that case, the action potential is a full response. It is all or nothing. Does it mean that it will happen or not happen? It do not having the in middle of the phase. Okay. So in the you can see structure of neuron having the myelin sheath, axon, muscle fiber. If someone just put the ice cube in your hand and you will get the signal of cold. Okay. Then a very quick response will occur and you will remove the ice from your hand and say, oh, it's very cold. So your body got the full response or action potential. Okay. Why? Because it having reached the action potential. And if you not reach the action potential, you will not able to move your hand. Okay. You can see the people go in coma. He will not receives any kind of action potential because the nerve is damaged. If nerve will damage, the people will go in the coma and not able to perform the daily functions. They will not able to raise their hands. Okay, they will not able to raise their hands. They will not able to move your hands. Okay, so their action potential will not reach to the threshold, and this is why because their nerves are damaged or maybe traumatic injury. Okay, so action potential is having the full response. There is nothing that there is a middle or not responding. Okay, they will give either response or either do not respond. There is no middle thing. Okay, if you toss your coin, there will be head or tail, nothing in the middle. Okay, just like that, action potential is that. So neuron exhibit all or none response is called action potential. Okay, I hope you got the answer and cleared your concept with this. If you guys have any doubt, please ask. We'll go to the next question. An inhibitory neuron can affect a target neuron with which it synapses by. Can anyone just tell what is the answer? I'll repeat the question. An inhibitory neuron can affect a target neuron with which it synapses by, producing an IPSP within the neuron, hyperpolarizing the neuron, increasing the calcium chloride influx into the neuron, and all of the above. What does it mean? Or either all of the above. Can anyone know the answer? If you know, please type in the message. Just try. The answer may be wrong, yes, but you should have to try. What will be the answer? Can anyone know? Does anyone know? All of these, Ilsa Huja. Okay, good, very good. Might be your answer will be correct. Let's see. Let other students also have to try. Shreya Vijay, leader's choice. I request all the students please join with your correct name that was registered on your NPTEL website so that your attendance will be marked. Okay. By chance, if you got login with another account, please type your correct name in the message box so that I can mark your attendance for today. Herman Cardos. Okay, Herman. I'll mark your attendance. Herman, can you try this question? Shreya Vijay. No problem. Don't worry. By chance, if you do not get the answers, don't worry. I will give you the answers. But if you know the answer, please tell. Okay. So all of the above is the correct answer. Okay. Why? The inhibitory neurotransmitter work by opening in channels that allow negatively charged ions to enter the neuron or positively charged ions to leave, making it harder for neuron to fire. Okay. Inhibitory neurotransmitters work by opening ion channels that allow negatively charged ions to enter the neuron or positively charged ions to leave. Okay, what does this mean of sentence? The sentence makes clear concept that yes, the entry of the calcium channels will stop and entry of negatively charged ions. Okay, just like chloride ions. Chloride is negatively charged ion. When it will stop the entry, when it will stop it exit or having more entry, the membrane action potential will what? Decreases. It will not reach to the membrane potential. So there will be the fact that if inhibitory neurotransmitters work by inhibiting the calcium channel entry and increasing the chloride ions entry. The most well-known inhibitory neurotransmitter is GABA. GABA, the full form of GABA is gamma aminobutyric acid, which is crucial for preventing excessive neurotransmitter activity and maintaining balance in the brain. You know, there is a term called homeostasis. What does it mean? You know what is homeostasis? Homeostasis
regulation of temperature.
Huh? What?
Regulation of body temperature.
You are correct, but in this concept, you are right that homeostasis means regulation of temperature, but regulation of the body functions. Okay, you are talking about the homeostatic, the thermic homeostasis. Okay, so in the homeostasis there will be a balance. Means the excitatory signal is required for our body, and inhibitory signal is also required for our body. So there will be one balance. It's called the homeostasis. So when the excitatory neurons will get more released, it will be inhibited by the inhibitory signals, by the negative feedback mechanisms. And the regulation of these all cycles is called as homeostasis. Okay. So homeostasis is not mean that you have regulate only body temperature. Homeostasis means regulation and maintenance of all the body reactions, natural body reactions in the body. Okay, just like maintaining the body temperature, maintaining the blood flow, maintaining your BP, maintaining the nerve signal. Okay, so homeostasis means maintenance of the correct or optimized body signals in the body. Okay. The most well-known inhibitory neurotransmitter is GABA, which is crucial for preventing excessive neuronal activity and maintaining balance in the brain. Okay, so I think you got clear about the homeostasis. Homeostasis does not mean only the maintenance of body temperature 37 degrees. Okay, yes, it maintains the body temperature 37 degrees, but it also maintains all of the body signals. Suppose that your heart pump the blood. Okay, so it is also maintained by the homeostasis process and negative feedback mechanism. Okay, so inhibition is just an important and excitation in the nervous system. It helps to prevent the conditions like seizures and anxiety disorders. Okay, what does the mean of this third sentence? Inhibition is very important. Suppose that if you open the gate, what will happen? The neurotransmitter will releasing. You're not closing the gate. The excitatory neurotransmitter will be more, and there will be some condition that you will get seizure, you will get an anxiety. So that inhibitory signals is also very important. God and evil both are important for our life. God is very important for our life for the faith and doing good things, but evil is also important. Why? If there will no evil, there will be no God. Okay, just like that, excitatory and inhibition is very good. Okay, so certain drugs like benzodiazepines enhance the effect of inhibitory neurotransmitters, particularly GABA, providing calmness effects and reducing the anxiety. Okay, so in the figure, left side of the figure, you can see that there is a synapse. This whole figure is called the synapse. So synapse is nothing but the junction between the two neurons. Okay, so it is the ending of the one neuron and starting of the another neuron. You can see here the GABA is enclosed, gamma aminobutyric acid is enclosed in the vesicles. You see the black dots. These black dots are the neurotransmitter GABA. There will be the entry of calcium channels, and that calcium channel will inhibit that calcium channel will fuse with the GABA vesicle and causes the release of these neurotransmitters. But in case of inhibitory neurotransmitters, what will happen? There will be no entry of calcium channels. Calcium channels do not go to entry. If they do not got the entry, what will happen? GABA will not release. GABA will not release. What will happen? Chloride ions will be here increased. Chloride ions will increase, and it will causes the retention of that vesicles, and the neurotransmitter action will not happen. Okay. Maybe in the next class I will tell more about the drugs and receptors and how drug receptor functions. But for now, you can understand that each receptor having their own antigen or agonist or function. Each neurotransmitter will bind with their own receptor only. They do not bind with other receptors. Okay. For the correct signaling, the receptors have to bind with the antigens. So receptor is present on the membranes. Okay, they will stay in their place, but stimulus or agonist or antagonist will bind to the receptors. Okay, so you will more study this on the pharmacology, but in the next class I will definitely let you know what is this. So we'll move next question about the action potential. What is action potential is initial point in the neuron? Okay, that's very interesting question. Can anyone want to try? Action potential is initiated at this point at the neuron. At which point? Action potential is initiated at which point in the neuron? Axon, soma, axon hillock, synapse. Elsa Oja, I think you are right, but let other students also have to try. Okay. Elsa has answered the question. Can anyone also want to try? Elsa, can you explain why? Why axon hillock?
Because summation happens there, either temporal or spatial.
Which kind of summation?
A temporal or spatial.
Okay.
So either with times it can get accumulated, or with space from all the dendrites it can come.
Okay, good, but not truly accurate. I appreciate your answer. That was very good. but there will need some modification. Better try. Okay, can anyone also a student want to try? Vijay, Shreya, leader's choice. Elsa is trying very good. Please, you guys also have to try. If you guys don't know, don't worry, I will let you know the answers, but you guys have to try. Are you guys trying, or should I give you the answer? Exxon Hillock is always the correct answer. You know, the correct answer is Exxon Hillock. You know, just see that structure of the neurons. You see the ions, red and blue and red. Blue one is the sodium ion, red one is the potassium ion. ECF is the extracellular fluid, ICF is the intracellular fluid. Okay, ICF and ECF are the intra and extracellular fluids. These reds are the. Elsa, can you tell what is this?
Sodium channel.
These are the channels that are responsible for the transporting ions from inside to outside. These all are the ions. You know what will be happen when you need to perform any activity. We need to maintain some concentration of ion in the cell. Okay, so these ion channels will work as a gate. They will open and release the ions, or they will get accumulated in the ion, so that the cell will have sufficient amount of action potential in the membrane. Okay, so I think I have completed for this session in 1 hour 30 minutes, and half hour is for the discussion. If you guys having questions, please ask. And if you guys don't having the question, we can move to the assignment part. Can you guys able to write the? You guys have to write the function of different parts of the human brain, and please write on till 4:48. Okay, it's a right now assignment for you. Please write the function of the different parts of the human brain. Please write the function of the different parts of the human brain. The parts of the brain has been already mentioned by me in the figure. You should have to directly write the answers. Okay, please write in one page, and when you complete it, please write in the text box that yes, I completed. Okay, write the function of different parts of the human brain. That practice will make you more clearing in your more concepts, and revision is very important for the study. If you guys will revise, you will get more and more information in the books, and they will more. Okay, so I request all of you to please write that question. Hello everyone. I hope you guys have completed this assignment. If not, please let me know how many of this completed. How many of them are writing? Are you guys writing? Have you completed this assignment?